Good afternoon. Good to have you with us. This is a webinar to go through the grant holder support partnership call out that you have seen and signed up for. I wanted to start by introducing myself. I'm Ali Torabi. I'm head of funding at England and have been working on developing this partnership call outs for essentially all of our England communities. If I could go to Ewan for a quick introduction and then to Jenny as well.
Hello, hi, Ewan Davison, Funding Policy Manager, part of the team developing this. And I shall be joining in terms of helping answer some of your questions later on. And I'll pass over to Jenny.
Hello everyone, I'm Jenny Whitemore. I'm also part of what has been the England Portfolio Review team over the last year, and I've been working with Ali and on this partnership rollout as well in as far as it's got.
I wanted to give a little bit of background, and it starts with community, which is the strategy that the fund has been following since last year and will be guiding this partnership call-outs. In that strategy, we have committed to a series of community-led missions, including coming together, sort of communities coming together, helping children and young people thrive, enabling people to live healthier lives and be environmentally sustainable. All of these missions are underpinned by an equity-based approach and a commitment to more than a funder. I will first cover the more than a funder commitment. And that basically comes from an understanding that we know funding is our most important tool. That's why we are here. That's what we are known for. But we also want to help in other ways to achieve our missions for a fairer, more sustainable and more resilient communities. If you look at those boxes, you will see that one of them is supporting. That's what we are focusing on today. There was a webinar about participation, that's You Decide, and you can that would be online as well. And then I wanted to just give a little bit of context for our equity-based approach to tackling inequality. This means that across all of our work with communities and for missions, we'll invest most in places, people and communities who experience poverty, disadvantage and discrimination. Our work aims to support community to build from their strengths. We'll support what matters most to different communities, including long-term investment to address deep-rooted challenges. And you will see that sort of language of equity coming through this sort of partnership call-out. 3 key things that you can take away. This partnership call-out is only for the development phase. We are looking for one lead partner to work with us and bring in 8 to 10 other organizations into the partnership, and our grant holder support is part of our journey in becoming a more equitable funder. I wanted to give you a bit of context. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing the grant holder support? And it comes from a recognition that not all communities start with the same resources. And to make things fairer, we should support those who need it most. This is not only in question of funding them, but in terms of pre-application, once they have received funding, that's what we are trying to do with grant holder support. The other context to say is that this sort of grant holder commitment is not a general infrastructure fund. We know that there have been cuts and shortages of funding when it comes to infrastructure organizations, and that's not what this fund is trying to address. What do we mean by grant holder support? If you look at this funding, we want you to shape it. That's one of the key messages that we have for you. And that's why we are doing the development phase, rather than coming with a list of what would the criteria and everything that is already pre-arranged and saying these are the ways that we think communities need support. The funding will help increase the knowledge, skills and resilience of civil society organizations. Together, the partners that are coming together will find out what existing and future grant holders need and what support would help them most. Now, in the partnership call-outs, you see a language of grant holders and supporting grant holders. I wanted to have a little slide to address this and sort of contextualize it for you a little bit. We mean by this current grant holders, so people that have existing awards for all reaching community or other grants with sort of England Directorate, but we also mean applicants and future grant holders. So this is not an offer that we are restricting only to our existing grant holders. Now, some of the basics. The purpose we have covered. We'll go through it again. The funding is to help increase the knowledge, skills, and resilience of community organizations. What partnership we're looking for? We're looking for one partner to lead the development stage of this support package, and with us bring together other organizations and specialists into the partnership. Overall, there is 2.1 million available. 200,000 of that is allocated to the lead partner, and 1.9 million is a budget for the partnership cohort beyond the lead partner. So this could be for organizations participating in the partnership for development work. And a timeline that we are hoping to achieve is between sort of, distributing this money and working with this partnership between spring 2025 to spring 2026. What comes next? So as you see in the sort of small dot, that's where we are right now. The grant holder support call out for 2.1 million is the development phase of a much larger package and program that we want to deliver in England. There's 150 million pounds of funding committed until 2030 to support our grant holders and other organizations that need it most. So that's what it's working towards. This is the sort of the 150 million and shaping that with us and understanding what would be the most effective way of doing this. Okay, the partnership. What are we hoping for? What would the lead partner do? They will bring together a range of community, civil society, and infrastructure organization, and importantly, act as a convener of the cohort and for the learning. They will bring in other partners and have specialist knowledge. What do we mean by that? These could be, for example, organizations that are working to reduce environmental impact, increase inclusion, work with organizations on using data and digital approaches better, and one sort of bigger catch-all category, which is increase organizational resilience. Now, that could be anything from legal support that organizations need to HR to organizational strategy. And the other thing that we want the lead partner to do is involve both emerging and established civil society organizations. For example, organizations that have been around for a long time and have been doing this, as well as those who are new and not mainstream. We are recognizing that in these different spaces, there are new actors that are coming in and filling in the gaps. And that's some of the people that we are hoping to have in the partnership. Who's in the partnership? Now, put yourself in this sort of situation that you are coming to this webinar and go, we want you to have a clear idea of who you want to involve in the partnership, but we're not necessarily asking you at this stage to have a formal partnership in place. We'll work with you to build the partnership, and we may also suggest some other suitable partners into the mix. And this could be a mix of funded and non-funded partners. For example, we expect any community organization taking part to be funded, but we wouldn't necessarily expect to fund organizations like other large funders that have been in this space and are trying to do sort of similar thing. They could be coming in as a partner that is not funded, so like as a partner, but not part of that 1.9 million. What would the 8 to 10 partners that are coming do? Primarily, they will be there to deliver support to some of our grant holders and other organizations that need it most. Now, that's the sort of, I want you to have that image of current grant holders of National Lottery, as well as those beyond the National Lottery Community Fund. The development process might also include workshops and community engagement sessions. The partners, that is you, will work to find out what existing and future customers need and what support would help them. What do we want to achieve with all of this? the 2.1 million, as well as the 150 million that is sort of coming up to 2030. Now, grant holder support is part of an offer that is looking at our equity-based approach towards tackling inequality. We know as an organization that we are on a journey with the approach to equity. Like many other organizations, we aim to be ambitious in this area, and we know we have some distance to travel. Our work will aim to support communities to build from their strengths. I want to sort of re-emphasize that, because that's the sort of approach that we are coming. We are not coming to organizations going, you do not have X, Y, or Z, but rather, how can we support you to have those and build those up, because we know that essence is there. And we want the support offer to be equitable. Now, there is some questions about sort of process for selecting partners. What is the timeline? What are we asking? This will answer some of those, hopefully, and also give you a little bit more information. Lead partner, what are we looking for? We are looking for somebody to work with us to set up a partnership. This includes bringing a range of specialist community or civil society organizations. Together, we'll deliver and learn from development stage of the grant holder support package. What do we want that sort of lead organization? What do we expect them to have? We expect them to have experience of working with or leading partners on shared projects, as well as links with other partners you want to involve. That might be something that you have done together. That might be sort of different ways of demonstrating that, this partnership is coming together to deliver this. We are particularly interested in hearing from partners that have experience in supporting civil society organization, but may have not received funding from us before. So going beyond the sort of cohort that are existing in our databases and we have experience of working with, we are also interested in hearing from partners that have experience of working with people, places, and communities who experience the most poverty, discrimination, and disadvantage. Again, that equity-based language is coming through in terms of where do we want to target not only this funding, this resources, but also who's working on developing it. Here's a bit of timeline in terms of sort of what, today on the 27th, we have been delivering this webinar. You will see this if you're catching the recording sometime later. The expressions of interest open on 8th of January, that's next year, and close on 5th of February. So you have around a month. Invitations to apply to full application will be sent on 16th of February. That's what we are aiming to, depending on the capacity and sort of demand that we have. And the full applications will be submitted by 28th of March. We are working to have assessment, grant panels, and decisions by mid-May. Again, in the next slide that we will go to, essentially cover some of the expressions of interest questions. Before we go into that, because it's quite a busy slide, I wanted to sort of flag that the expressions of interest also will have the certain sort of number of questions that we normally ask about where does the organization work, all of those organizational details, equality details. So it will have all of those stuff, and it's mostly similar to what we are asking in Reaching Communities, and it will have 3 specific questions. So let's go and have a look at those. In terms of expression of interest, the questions that we are asking is 1, to tell us about your experience of working with others to develop new activities and programs. This could include when you have worked or led partners on a shared project. Examples of your work that have brought lived experience, learned expertise, and professional experiences together. The other question that we are asking, the second question, is that partnership question. Tell us about the range of partners you would like to bring into the partnership, the expertise and perspectives they bring, and the existing working relationship with them. How you will bring in partnership organizations that are newer or not mainstream, or for example, organizations that have worked with marginalized community groups. And the last question is sort of an alignment question. Give us some examples of how your previous works aligns with our strategy. It starts with community. So that's, again, the first question is some of your past experiences in developing new activities. what sort of capabilities, what experiences you have, bringing together the lived, learned, and professional experiences. The second question is about the range of partners that you want to bring, what expertise and perspectives they have, which ones might be newer or working with marginalized communities. And the last question is about examples of your previous work and how this aligns with It Starts With Community. That is it.